What's up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and I have my lovely wife with me,
Stacy.
Yes, and we are going to talk more about Stranger Things 3, and we are on the episode
3.
Yes, what's the name of the episode, Stacy?
The Case of the Missing Lifeguard.
Yes, so let's get into this thing. First topic, go.
All right, so let's talk about the storyline through the episode of Max and 11 and what they go through.
That's a good storyline. This was an amazing episode. Let's just start off by saying that. This was the episode to start the season off right.
I feel like there was enough story in each storyline that kept you interested. Stuff was happening. You were like, what's going to happen? There was mystery. There were a little bit of jump scares in there.
Bruh.
It was cool. I really liked this episode. I felt like episode 1 and episode 2, it was more like leading in. Now we're in it. I know what's happening. I'm ready to see episode 4. We haven't seen it yet. Yeah. I'm ready to watch it.
Okay. So, as you were saying, Elle and Max, like we said on the last episode, we knew that they kind of split apart from the group, and each group has their own like mystery or mission to it, I guess you could say. So, Elle and Max.
So when the episode enters, it shows them like having girl time. You know, they both broke up with their boyfriends. They said bye.
Peace.
So they're hanging out at 11's cabin, and they're talking about what they think the boys are doing, if the boys are crying over them or whatever. So 11 puts on her blindfold and she turns on the radio to static. Yep. And she goes into, I don't even know what it's called.
The sunken place.
Let's just call it the sunken place.
That's what it looks like.
And she sees them just
That's from Get Out, by the way.
They're just talking about how they don't understand women, and I mean, who really does?
Nobody understands women. What? Y'all crazy? No, I'm just kidding.
And then
I'm playing.
It shows them like just burping and farting. It's just goofy. And then what happened? And then Hopper comes in.
Oh yeah, Hopper barges in because he thinks it's Mike. He's like, I told you 3 feet apart. She's like,
don't you knock?
Max is like, don't you knock? And Hopper's like, at a loss for words.
Mad. Well, first of all, Hopper's coming back from his date with Joyce, and he's drunk, like he's pissed off. Yeah. So he's already like, he's like, if this girl is with Mike, there's gonna be something to pay. So he goes in, he sees that, and he's like, oh. And then he comes out, and you can tell he's visibly happy it's not Mike. He's like, so whatever, I don't care what you're doing in there, as long as it's not a boy in there.
Right, exactly.
And then more on their storyline. So then, well, they're playing, it looks at first they're like playing Spin the Bottle.
Yeah, it was weird.
But then you see different names on it, and they spin, and I forget who they get. I think it's like Nancy's dad or something.
It's so hot.
And then they spin again, and it gets Billy, Max's brother. Yeah. And we're like, oh gosh.
Last we seen him, they were in the basement. He had the lifeguard in the basement, getting ready to feed the creature, or feed the creature her body or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
So
she goes in there and she sees like him. Like, and he kind of seems like he sees her, like when he was down there, and she hears screaming, and she's like, whoa, I'm coming back. And she tells Max all this, and Max is like, what does Max even do? She's like, well, that's weird, you know. Right. So they went to the pool, and they went to the pool where she works, and she didn't show up. Right. So she you mean where Billy works?
Well,
no, they go to the
Heather,
house.
No,
they go to the house, Max's house first.
Oh yeah, they go.
Billy. And they go into like the bathroom, and there's a bunch of like ice bags in the bathtub, and then they find the lifeguard fanny pack, and they're like, then they go to the pool. And what happens at the pool?
And then, and then they go to the pool, and after that, what do they do?
They go. They're like, well, she wasn't here today. Heather wasn't here. They're kind of being like little detectives, which I love.
Yeah, that's
hilarious. I love like little detective type stuff. And they go into the bathroom there, and 11 goes back into like the sunken place.
The sunken place.
And she has a picture of Heather, so she knows like how to connect with her. And it shows Heather like at this house with like a red door and in a bathtub.
Full of ice.
This was crazy. Yeah, it was full of ice. And Heather like comes up and is like, "Help me!" And then she gets like dragged down.
And yeah, so that effect was awesome. If somebody could teach me how to do that effect with the, you know, with the bathtub disappearing and then her going down and reaching for the girl. Oh my gosh, crazy. that was an awesome scene. I'm sorry for Heather, but that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, and it makes you just wonder like, what's going on? Like, did Heather really see 11? Like, or is it just like something that they want her to see? Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I don't know. So that was kind of weird. Oh, they find the house with the red door.
Yeah, they find the house with the red door, which is Heather's house, right? Yeah, Heather's house. And Heather seems to be fine. Billy's there with Heather's parents.
Yeah. One interesting thing was like the dad worked for the newspaper.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of like
connects the
storylines.
So yeah, that was odd.
And the girls just walk in. First of all, don't walk into people's houses.
Yeah, like, she unlocked the door.
She just walked in
from the outside.
And they're like, "Hello," and they go in and they're just having this family dinner. And Billy's just being weird, which he already is.
He's already weird, but he was acting extra strange.
11's like, "Where is Heather?"
And Heather comes out. She's like, "Oh, I was sick. That's why I didn't go to work, but I'm fine now." So that gets rid of Elle and Mac's suspicion, so they can leave. Actually, they're probably still suspicious, but they leave because they don't have any reasonable cause.
Right.
But then after that,
Billy kind of recognizes her.
Oh yeah, Billy.
She's leaving, and he's like it's like he's the portal, and he recognizes 11 as closing the portal. That's how I took it.
I think it was the creature.
Or he's the monster.
It was like, the creature has possessed him, and yes, like that. So, and he noticed that she was the one who closed the gate to the Upside Down. Yeah. So now he's kind of got his eye on her. Yeah. But then after that, they drugged the mom, busted dad over the head, and I guess chloroformed him. I guess they're trying to make them possessed as well. Right. Man, that was crazy. That was how we ended the episode. Right. So
I think they're trying to make like an army of, I don't even know what to call them, but like they're all like in a trance, seems like, and
taking over.
That was crazy because the girls, Heather offered the girls the drugged cookies. So I was like, I'm very glad that they did not take those drugged cookies. Too.
I would have took the cookie.
I mean, me too.
Man, snacks are my love language. Okay, so
that's kind of
that was the Max and Elle storyline.
Do you have any last minute thoughts about their storyline?
I don't think so. Let's move on.
Okay, so let's go to the Will,
Mike, and Lucas.
Mike and Lucas story of the episode. Their story didn't have a lot going on.
It wasn't a lot, but
it was kind of filler this episode. But basically what happened with them is they were just trying to play games. Will was trying to play Dungeons and Dragons.
He got all dressed up for it. I loved it. I loved the whole costume.
I said, oh.
That was funny.
And he's still in that mindset, like we talked about last time. He's in the mindset of a kid. He's not feeling like he's not ready
for
And I think that's part of his like trauma or whatever. And it's not the same. Like, Dustin's not there, and I think he's picking up on that.
Yeah, he's
like, why is the group separated? And then Lucas and Mike aren't taking the game seriously, so that's making him mad. And honestly, I would be mad too because you guys agreed to play this game with me. You're not really, like, in it. Like, I know we're all grown up, but, like, they were kind of making fun of it, and it was, like, not nice.
They're growing up, though, you know?
But I kind of think of it as, like, Will's not in that mindset because he was in the Upside Down
He was in the Upside Down, and that's something that he's trying to take advantage of all the childhood that he has left, and it's just not working because his friends are in a different spot. They're in a different place in their mind, so it's definitely different. But he breaks down. He goes to the fort, and he sees all the pictures of them together. I loved the flashback montage. That was amazing. It just made me get in my feels.
It just makes you feel, like, sad for Will. Like, And even Mike did tell him, we're not kids anymore. Like, we're growing up. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, this is the reality of it. But Mike was so upset. He just went to Castle Byers, and he was like, I'm done with this.
So I'm done,
like,
bro.
So hopefully, like, they'll figure it out.
Smashes it.
Yeah.
Gets a bat and smashes it.
I'm like, goodness me.
I know. He took it to the next level.
And then Lucas, the end of the episode, or near the end of the episode, Lucas and Mike find him at Castle Byers, and he turns around after destroying it, and he's like, he's back. He says something
he's
like
back.
that. So he knows what's up.
He knows. He feels that on the back of those goosebumps. He feels.
Yeah. And I think he already knew that, so maybe that's why he was trying so desperately to play the game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm tired. Why can't we have a normal life? Yeah. I'm tired of this. Like, my friends are growing up. I don't feel like growing up right now. It's the summertime. Like, we don't have any, like, responsibility. I don't want to deal with the friggin' upside downy.
Right. Like, leave us alone.
So,
gosh.
It's a lot.
But yeah, so that was the end of their storyline. Yeah. What's the next storyline we're going to talk about?
We'll talk about Joyce and Hopper.
Yeah.
So they're right. It's basically right after episode 2 that episode 3 is taking place. So Joyce comes to Hopper's cabin, and she's trying to talk to him.
Talk to him about those magnets, dang magnets. And he's like, bro, you stood me up. Are you serious? Like, I don't want to talk about no daggone magnets. Yeah. Like, what?
And I don't blame him at all. Like, I would be mad too. And he's like, why are you over at the science teacher's house? Like,
Mr. Clark? Mr. Clark? Okay.
And he's like, she's like, well, will you come help me? He's like, I don't got the time. He didn't even have a watch on. He didn't have a watch on. But he's like, let me see. But he eventually, like, she, like, storms out while he's, like, giving her a lecture. And she storms out.
And she gets those wire cutters. She goes and gets those wire cutters.
She's like, I want to go to the lab. And
she said, I'm going to the lab. I don't care if I go with you or without you. I'm going to that lab.
Right.
So, I'm just letting you know. So.
And he doesn't really understand the purpose of it. He's like, nobody's going to be over there. Like, what's the point of doing this? But he goes because
he's like trying to prove her wrong. Well, that and he's trying to prove her wrong, like show her that there's nothing to worry about. But when they get there, the dude with the motorcycle helmet was there, and like, there was a little bit of creeping around, and he had to like find them and stuff, but he ended up finding them. Joyce wasn't with them at the time. The Russian dude kicked his butt. He blindsided him.
He really did.
He blindsided him.
He came out of nowhere.
He came out of nowhere.
Like a jump scare.
That was a jump scare. Yeah, that was cool though. Like he wasn't behind him at one point, and then he was when the lightning strike. Oh, because it was raining.
Oh yeah, it was raining. Like the whole episode. I think that like the rain really set the mood and the atmosphere, which I really liked that because it was like, oh, we're getting serious.
Yeah,
like we're not. This is supposed to be summertime. Like, why is it raining so hard? Like, it's kind of.
It set the tone, definitely.
Right. But that's Indiana weather for you. We live in Indiana. We can tell you that happens.
Yeah, that happens.
But before he got ambushed by the Russian guy, they were in the lab where the portal was, and it was plastered over. So, like, obviously, that's not where the portal is coming through at that time. And Joyce and Hopper kind of have, like, a one-on-one, and he's like, hey, I figured out you're trying to leave Hawkins. Like, kind of confronts her about it. And and I mean, he doesn't really blame her. He's like, yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah,
it's
with his
hard.
daughter.
And I don't blame them either. If I lived there, I'd be like, I'm going.
I'm not staying here where all this crazy stuff is happening.
No, and her job is probably almost done, out of business. So what's the point of her
dang
staying there? And her son's friends are kind of being weird, so she's just like, whatever, we can get out. It's going to save my son. He's already having trauma from being here anyway, so why don't we just leave? Yeah. So I don't think they will leave. Maybe they will leave at the end of the season. That'd be kind of interesting to see season 4, if there is a season 4. I don't even know if there
has to be a season 4. It better be a season 4, Duffer Brothers.
Well, we haven't seen the whole show yet, so we don't know how it ends. At the end, something crazy might happen. You don't know.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, but we love Stranger Things, so hopefully there's a season 4. But anyway,
they're better business.
That was kind of a crazy. The guy.
Yeah, the Russian guy.
Ambushing Hopper.
Man, he tore him apart too. He was, boom, boom. I was like, he had no chance. Yeah. He had no chance. And he sucker punched him.
Yeah, so
I'm ready for a one-on-one fight. You know, he's ready. So
you don't do Hopper like that.
No, my man Hopper. You can't do my man Hopper like that.
So that was the end of their story.
Yeah.
And kind of the last story is
there's
2 more.
Yeah, Dustin, Steve, and
Robin.
Robin. We found out her name finally.
I was like, all of episode 2, I was like, what is this girl's name? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they're in the mall. They're still trying to figure out the Russian recording.
Yeah.
And Steve and Dustin are kind of just being goofy, like look around the mall with these big binoculars. Yeah. I'm like, you guys are not really hiding at all.
Yeah. The beginning of their story, beginning of that storyline was a little slow.
Yeah.
For this episode, but it definitely picked up.
And I think it paid off as well.
Mm-hmm.
So shows them kind of. It was really funny showing them just kind of running around the mall, and mm-hmm. Steve was like, "What's that girl doing with that guy?" And up to his Steve Harrington-ness. Mm-hmm. And Dustin is like, "You don't need to be worried about that girl. You need to be worried about Robin." So he's shipping Robin and Steve just like we are. So that's fine.
I mean, I don't know if I ship them, but it's just so obvious that they made. Yeah, they and when they were spying on the Russians, they grabbed hands.
Yeah. So I was like,
what?
I see you.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so that while they're goofing off, Robin actually figures out the code.
She cracks the code.
And it is happening at the mall. They're getting shipments to these random stores, and it's an armed shipment. Nobody does that at the mall, so something's up. And so that was kind of the end of their thing. It didn't really show what the shipment was. It just showed it was an armed shipment.
Wait, didn't they get caught?
They almost got caught. They didn't,
okay.
But they were running around at the mall. I forget. Mm-hmm. But that was pretty much it. You wanted to bring up Erica.
Oh yeah,
because Erica was in that storyline as well.
A little bit, yeah. She was in it. So they kind of sprinkle her character in it throughout, and I like that she had friends and stuff with her, but I feel like maybe there needs to be a little bit diversity in that little group. It's all black girls. I feel like it could be an Asian girl with them, a little, because not. What am I trying to say? Not little friend groups like that could be, have a little diversity in them.
Right.
So
I don't think they really care about her friends, but
they don't.
I'm hoping that they use,
that's something I would like to see.
Right. I'm hoping that they use Erica more
I know
for
they will.
A real purpose.
I know they will.
But right now she's just I want a free sample.
Yeah, she's like, I want a free sample, and Robin's like, no mas.
Right.
So
that's kind of their storyline. And then the last one is Nancy and Jonathan. So they're the last storyline, kind of the episode. Their storyline wasn't that exciting, really, either. I feel like...
Yeah, this is a slow burn with their
and it shows them again at their office, the news office, and there is a little jump scare with Nancy with the fake rat, which I actually did jump. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because the people at the papers were making fun of her, you know, because they didn't have enough evidence. They didn't have any, hard evidence that these rats were something crazy. Right. It was at the end of their storyline was they went back to the
development, but they went back to the old lady's house to get the rat to show them, and again they just walked into the house.
They walked into the house. These people are just walking to people's houses. They don't know if they got a shotgun or something. They could, kapow, So, but they went into her house. They went to the basement, and this girl was eating This lady was eating the fertilizer.
It was crazy. I was like...
I don't know if she was possessed or what, but that was the end of their storyline.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to see more of that. It shows, the rat that blew up maybe got to Miss Driscoll. And so
Driscoll.
Yeah. So, but it was a lot.
You wrote that down, didn't you?
What?
Driscoll.
I did.
You wanted to remember her name so bad.
But overall, I think it was a lot of storylines. And like, even with like my notes, like it was jumping around a lot. So it was like, all right, we're gonna do this. All right, we're going to this. And I'm like, I kind of wish, like, if you're not gonna use Jonathan and Nancy that much, don't, like, just put it all together at once. Don't, like, jump around, because I'd rather you guys all focus on the one thing. Like,
it was a lot.
And maybe that's just to continue the story more throughout the other episodes. That way nobody's shortchanged or whatever. But, I don't know.
Add more episodes.
Yeah, there's only 8 episodes.
There's 8 episodes. I mean, like, I kind of like that they're short, but I kind of wish it was a longer season sometimes, because we could take our time with a few things. We don't have to jam-pack every episode with, like, every storyline, because I feel like this episode has so many storylines going and interconnected, and, like, we could just, you know, condense it, make us, you know, wait a little bit, and we can make it maybe 13 episodes a season, something like that.
Yeah.
10, even 10.
Yeah.
But last season was 9. But yeah, so that was episode 3.
Of season 3.
Of season 3. And they know it's season 3.
I know, I'm just saying.
I keep saying season 3. Yeah. Yeah, so it's episode 3, season 3.
This was like the best episode yet.
It was the best episode yet. Jam-packed full of cool stuff and effects and music again. Once again, the music was awesome.
I paid more attention this time.
Yeah.
That was good.
So if you liked our episode 3 review, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit us down in the comments. We're ready to talk Stranger Things.
Type up a comment.
Yeah. Yes.
Find him on social media.
Yeah, social media. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. AJ Reacts 2. And thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.